Hey there, Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems and Diane'sDozen.com. You may or may not know, last weekend in Phoenix, Arizona was the women's NCAA Final Four. The men played in Indianapolis this year. And I was blessed and lucky enough to go for the fourth year in a row to the women's event. And it's interesting, the last 2 years, the same teams have been to the women's Final Four and with very different results, with very different results for the couple of years. But an interesting phenomenon happened both years, and it happened multiple times. And it was interesting because I pay attention to these things, and as I was sitting watching the games, I watched this happen, and I thought, wow, this happens in business too. And so another lesson from sport from Diane, but I watch people quit. I watch players, athletes, elite athletes quit. They quit on themselves. They quit on their teams. They quit on their coaches. Elite coaches who are world class, amazing coaches quit. And it hurts my heart, right? Every time, whether it's sports or in business. And I see this in business a lot. People just get, I don't know, tired, frustrated. Um, I don't know because I don't understand it. There's this piece of me that gets it. You're tired, take a break. Things aren't working out. Change, take a different route. Shift what you're doing. Look for different avenues. Get some help. Look at your client base. Look at your target market. Look at your messaging. Look at your market. Look at the media. There's always things to look at, right? In your business. There's always things to look at in life. And, I guess quitting has always been, it was always banged into me as a kid. Once you start something, you finish it. But I think in business specifically, quitting has always scared me because if you draw that line in the sand, that proverbial line in the sand, it's arbitrary, first of all, right? And when you draw it, what you're saying is, if I don't make X dollars by this time, I'm going to quit. If I don't have this many clients or whatever the line is for you, right? A lot of times it's money. If this doesn't happen, X, and whatever your X is. And my thing has always been, what if the next step that you took? What if the next promotion that you did? What if the next joint venture, strategic alliance, whatever you call them, that you did was the thing that catapulted you right over the edge? You don't know where your line is, and none of us do. And we draw the line a lot of times because we're in compare mode. That's what I call it, right? You're comparing, well, they started about the same time as me, or I'm smarter than them, or I've been around, whatever it is, right? And that's always a lose-lose game when you start comparing. But my fear has always been, what if the next thing was my thing? It's the picture of the meme of the guy who's got the pickaxe, right? And he's banging on the wall, in the tunnel, right? And it shows that the diamonds are right there. If he had one more pickaxe, right, and he probably would have had all those diamonds. It's the acres of diamonds story, right? We don't look down sometimes. We're so focused on this that we forget to look at all the things that we have. If you've been in business for more than a couple of years, you have assets. You have things in your arsenal that you can turn to, but you forget. And you forget because you can't see the forest for the trees. And there are a lot of trees sometimes, and sometimes there's a lot of forest, right? And so sometimes it's just a matter of getting an outside opinion, getting somebody who's not so emotionally tied and involved, to say to you, hey, there's an opening, there's a clearing, there's a path in that forest, and you're the perfect person for it. You're the one who can fill that gap. Interesting story. I was talking to a client the other day, and he was frustrated. He's going through some things in his life, and he's at this that point of like, I can't get through the muddle in my brain to free myself up to think. And I made a suggestion, and he wasn't sure it was something he wanted to do. And I said, well, go put it in AI and see what it says. It turns out AI said the exact thing that I did, and that he was the perfect person to do this kind of thing, right? And so sometimes it's just having that confidence and having somebody else tell you that that's where you should head, that's where you should go, right? And so here's my thing that I just want to say to you on today's Wednesday of Wisdom. um, don't quit. Don't quit on yourself. Don't quit on your team. Don't quit on the world, because you're going to make an impact somewhere in your life and in your business. And that's, to me, that's my job. That's what I do, right? um, is make an impact. And so don't give up on that, because it's important. And what if you're the only one? What if there's somebody out there and you're the only one that can make that impact, that can make that difference? They're waiting on you. Don't deny them that. Don't quit. And if you need some help, you need some extra motivation, you need somebody to be in your corner, I got your back. Reach out and let me know. I'm Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems and Diane'sDozen.com. Until next time, make it a great day.